class today. Today we are going to be using the box and the jump board. We will be jumping to end class today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I have my Footwork springs on. There's 3 to 4 springs. I'm going to come lying on my back, headrest up or down. I'm going to go ahead and locate my bony landmarks. Flat, heavy sacrum, slight lift in the low back, 12 reps on. Inhale my ribs to bring them together strongly. They're not flaring. My shoulder blades are going to be down my back. And I have a nice wide collarbone. We are going to be doing footwork that will mimic the jumping that we'll be doing at the end of class today. So we're going to be on our heels with our feet in a Pilates seat. Our toes pulled back strongly to our heels. Our femurs are rotated or turned out in our hip sockets. Our knees are tracking over our big toes. We're going to press out on the inhale and exhale to bring it back across. Bring our knees back towards the foot bar to bend position. And inhale and exhale. As you inhale, drop your belly button to your spine. Locating your lower abdominals. Squeezing everything towards the midline. Tweezing your seat as you stretch out. Engaging your inner thighs. Locating your breath. Relaxing through your neck. And finding more length in your spine as you press out and press your feet. You're pressing energy coming out of your head and energy shooting out of your heels. So press for the energy to shoot out and resist the springs on the way back in, releasing your hip flexors. 2 more. From here, we're going to separate our feet so that our heels are directly under our sits bones, hip distance apart. Go and flex. And point your feet a few times to release your shin muscles. Now pull your toes back strongly to your nose. Make sure that you're keeping an even space between your knees as you press out and as you come back in. Squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to press out and release your hip flexors to come back in. Make sure that you're maintaining your neutral spine the whole time. You're not sinking into your low back or losing that slight curve or lift between your sacrum and your ribs. When you breathe, think of expanding your ribs onto the mat rather than breathing up towards the ceiling. You breathe out towards the sides of the walls. It'll help you keep your ribs engaged. 3 more. 9. And 10. From there, we're going to bring our legs together. Squeeze from one mega leg, one giant leg, ankles, knees, and toes, all coming towards the midline to each other. We're going to come up into a forced arch or demi-point position on the ball of our foot, lifting our heels up, keeping that lift in our foot. We're going to press out and exhale back across. Here's 2. Stretch everything out. Long hip flexors. And back. If you feel as if your shoulders could be a little wider, your shoulder blades aren't as flat as you'd like, try flipping your palms up to the ceiling. See if that helps you to flatten your shoulder blades, but make sure that your ribs are not flaring. If that's not helping you, think of widening your shoulder blades on the mat. So you're creating more space between your shoulder blades to create wider collarbones. But again, don't flare your ribs. And don't lose that lift in your low back. Let's do 2 more here. 1 and 2. Staying up at the top, we're going to drop our left heel under, bending our right knee, leaving our right heel lifted. Lift your left heel to meet your right, and then drop your right heel, bending your left knee. Straighten your right leg. Drop your left heel under the foot bar. And left. Drop your right heel under. And left. Maintaining a heavy sacrum. Let's speed it up slightly. Right and left. Lift and right. Lift, left, right, left. After you've seen me do the exercise, go ahead and look back up at the ceiling so that you don't strain your neck. Here's 7, 8, 9, and 10, and right. Staying up at the top, squeezing everything together. We're going to drop both of our heels under the foot bar. From there, leaving our heels drop under the foot bar as much as we can. We're going to soften our knees, bend our knees to bring them over the foot bar, Still trying to drive our heels under the foot bar as much as we can. From there, we'll lift our feet back up into a forced arch or demi-point position. Straighten our legs and press out. Drop your heels under the foot bar. Bend your knees over your big toes, bending them over the foot bar at the same time. And lift your toes and press out. Drop your heels, bend your knees, and come in. One more. Make sure that you're not losing that lift in your low back. You're maintaining your neutral spine the whole entire way. Without coming up into a demi-point, we're going to press out, pushing our heels under the foot bar. And then we're going to lift up onto the forced arch or demi-point. And now we're going to bend our knees, squeezing our legs together the whole time to bring the carriage into the bum bar. Heels under and press out. Lift up into a forced arch and bend your knees to come in. Press out, heels under the foot bar. Raise up, using your lower abdominals to lift you. And now bend your knees. And lower your heels as you straighten and lift and bend. And two more. And one more. And shake out your legs. From the sitting, we're going to go ahead and change my springs for supine arms and hundreds. For me, that is 2 springs. Might be 1. Go ahead. Come back down. On your back. Bring your arms up in your handles or double loops or straps. Bring your knees up to tabletop. From there, ready. Exhale, bringing our arms down to our sides. Palms facing up. Inhale back up. Create pressure. Put a little bit more pressure in your pinky blade edge to engage your lats. Check on your neutral spine here. It'll be very important when we're jumping that we are maintaining a neutral spine. 4. We're going to 6, 5. One more. And 6. Come out to a V position with your arms no wider than the width of your reformer. Again, the pressure in your pinky blade edge, and bring your pinky blade edge down to your hips and lift it back. As you exhale to bring your arms down, how much can you use your abdominals to move your arms? Drawing your belly button to your spine. Increasing the wrap on your ribs so that you bring them together strongly to engage your lats. 2 more. Loose neck. Shake it out. Squeezing your legs together here as well. And back out. We're going to bring our arms out to a T. Again, we're still spiraling out to our pinky blade edge, putting a slight bit more pressure there to engage our lats. Really help to draw the shoulders away from your ears. When you come here, make sure that you didn't start flaring your ribs. Check in with your neutral spine. And exhale your arms to your hips. And out. And 2. Don't hyperextend your arms here. Slight micro bend. Exhale. And up. One more. And up. Arms up to the ceiling. We're going to circle our arms. We're going to bring them out around to the outside. Bringing our hands to our hips. And flip them back up. We're just beginning to utilize all the parts of the supine arms we've done. The parallel arms, the V arms, the T arms, there's 5, and here's 6. We're going to reverse, bringing our hands down to our hips, opening out to the side, and coming up, and draw your arms down to your hips, out to the side and up. Here's 3. And 5. And 6. Should we slightly away from our shoulder blocks? Inhale prayer Exhale to curl up. Bring your hands to your hips. Extending your legs to your working level. Curl over your sternum. Begin pumping. Reaching strongly towards your foot bar. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Squeeze your inner thigh strongly. Tweeze your seat slightly. Draw your ribs together. Curl up over your spine. Reach strongly and pump vigorously. 4 more sets, I'm sorry. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check in your neutral spine. Make sure that your sacrum's heavy, your ribs are on, but you're not smushing your low back into the mat. 1 more set. Stop there. See if you can draw your ribs, your hips a little bit further. Curling up over your sternum a little bit deeper. Draw your knees to tabletop. Flow your hands to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Go ahead and peg your straps. Come up to sitting. We're going to go ahead and adjust our straps again. We're going to do adjust our springs. We're doing feet and straps. I'm going to go 2 heavy springs personally. My other shoe springs. Come back here. Change over to my feet straps. If you have double loop straps, you will need to do so. Come back down to lying on my side. Press out with my left foot. Drop my right knee into my chest. Put the strap around my right foot. There we go. Press my right leg out straight. Drop my knee into my chest. Strap around my right arch. Bring my feet to Pilates seat with a flexed foot position. I would like to be shoved up against my shoulder block, so I shimmy away slightly. I'm going to come into a frog position. I have a neutral spine. I'm drawing my knees into my chest, making sure that my ribs are still together, not flaring. My toes are pulled back, flexed over my knees. I'm rotating my femur and my hip socket. I'm going to press out and exhale back. As I press out, I'm going to squeeze everything to the midline and release it back in. Just 3. Here's 6. 7. Again with the shoulders, if you're feeling as if they're a little bit too round and front, flip your hands up to the ceiling, your palms up. 9. Try to pull your shoulder blades apart. And 10. Bring your feet straight up to the ceiling. Feet parallel, neutral spine. Go ahead and flex to use your glutes and hamstrings to bring your legs down. The heavy sacrum. Point your feet and float your legs back up with control, resisting the springs. Flex and lower. Float back up. Using your hamstrings and glutes. Squeezing your legs together. Here's 4. And 5. Here's 6. 7. And 8. Here's 9. See if you can engage both sides of your glutes at the same time. And lift. From there, we're going to open our feet to a Pilates seat. We're going to open our feet to a wide V and flex, using our inner thighs to pull our feet together, meeting our heels at the same time in the center. Point to open. Can you do this without changing the resistance in your straps, meaning without moving your carriage? Can you leave your carriage in one place, open your legs, and close them? 5. And 6. Check on your glutes. 7. Check on your ribs. 8. Here's 9. And finally, 10. Go ahead and give a gentle point to your feet. We're going to open our legs to the side. Using our glutes and hamstrings and your legs, we're going to bring our feet down to the center at the same time and float our legs back up to the ceiling. Inhale our legs to the outside and exhale to float them back up through the center. Here's 3. Without rocking our sacrum, if our sacrum begins to rock, make the circles a little smaller and see how much you can engage with your core from there. Stop at the top of this one and inhale your legs down through the center and exhale to float them to the side and back up to the middle. Inhale and exhale. 3. 4. And 5. From there, we're going to bend our feet into frog. Straighten our right foot. Take our left foot out of the strap. And keep it in our hand. Find the foot bar. Bend our legs. Knees coming into the bumper. Hold both straps in one hand. Come up to sitting. We're going to change our springs to 2 lighter springs. We're going to come back down onto our back. I'm going to drop my headrest. I'm going to press out with my right foot, place my left foot in the foot strap, press out, place my right foot in, bending my knees in a frog. I'm going to shimmy away slightly from the shoulder blocks so I'm not smushed up against them. From here, I'm going to platform my arms down by my side. I'm going to inhale, exhale, reverse ab curl, tuck my tailbone towards my nose. I'm going to float my spine off the mat without straightening my legs so the springs assist me too much. And I'm going to articulate back down. We're looking for a deep lower abdominal connection, sliding our hips to our ribs without rounding your shoulders or losing the platform in your shoulder blades. Press your arms into the mat to have some help from your triceps. Here's 5. Here's 6. And 7. And 8. Drop your belly button to your spine. Now when you tuck your tailbone, imagine your hips sliding towards your ribs. 1 more. And coming down. New short spine prep. We're going to press our legs out to working level. We're going to bring our feet up to the ceiling and down into a frog and press out. It's like a water wheel. And down, frog. Press out on 1. Raise your feet up over your belly button on 2. Leave neutral spine. Come down on 3. Press out on 1. Twist to ceiling 2. And a frog on 3. 1 more in this direction. From here, we're going to stay in frog. Bring our legs up to the ceiling. Pull them down with our hamstrings and our glutes. Pull our legs into frog. Extend them to the ceiling. Pull down into frog. Here's 3. And here. And 4. Up to the ceiling. Working level. Frog. Final 1. Go ahead and take your left foot out. Place your foot on the foot bar. Extend. Remove your right foot and come on in. From here, we're going to go ahead, come off our mat to the side. We're going to be doing some long back exercises. If you would like a sticky mat for these, please feel free to get one at this time. Place my long blocks on the carriage. I'm going to change over from my foot straps to my handles again. Take my sticky mat, place it in the center of my box. I'm going to change my springs to one heavy spring. I'm going to come down onto my box, hand, leg. The front edge of my box is going to be where my sternum and my 12th rib meet. For ladies, where your bra strap is, if you're running on where your bra strap is, I'm going to have my shoulders back and down, spiral upside into my pinky blade edge, press down on 1, pull up into small with the straight arms on 2, squeezing my legs together, press out on 3, and pull back across on 4. Pulling back across, making sure that you're squeezing your glutes, your inner thighs, drawing your belly button up towards your spine, making sure that your ribs are together. 7 on 1, 2, out on 3, pull across 4, engaging our lats, and 2, drawing our belly button towards spine, 2 more, 1, 2, make sure that you're not drawing your neck too far back, so you're cranking it backward, and not looking down so far that you're not following the curve of your spine either. I'm going to come off, leg, hand, adjust my sticky mat. I am going to drop my foot bar 1. Let my feet hit it. I'm going to come on to my box. The same way, except for instead of reaching for the foot bar, I'm going to reach for the corners of my box. From here, I'm going to take my straps or handles. I'm going to place them over my wrists like bracelets, choke up on the straps, place my hands down on the wood, slide into the side, get back in the same position where I'm squeezing my legs together, drawing my belly button to my spine to protect my low back, bringing my ribs together. I'm going to pull back on 1 and release 4. In the first 4, I'm not going to do back extension. The back extension is optional. Here's 4. Now I'm going to add an optional slight back extension, pulling back and lifting up and releasing. And 2. And release. Squeezing the legs together. 3. And 4. Stay back there. Go ahead and bend at the elbows, bringing your fists to your shoulders, and press back for tricep press. 7, 6, 5, 4, belly button to spine. 3, 2, 1. Straighten your arms, and now float them with care down to the side. Control. I'm going to take my hands out of my bracelets. I'm going to grab on to the metal part, or if you have a ring, you can put your thumb through like a thumb ring. Those are my favorite tricks from one of my teachers. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T, my palms facing the ground. The first 4 of these T strap pulls are going to be with no back extension. The last 4, I'm going to add a back extension. That's optional. Pull back, palms facing around the entire head, and release. Here's 2. Release. 3. And 4. From here, I'm going to add a slight back extension as I pull back. And release. Here's 2. Here's 3. And 4. Staying there. I'm going to flip my palms from my hips. And 8 pulses. 1, 2. It's as if I'm squeezing an orange or a ball under my arm. 7, 8. Flip my palms back down to the floor. And release. Back out to the side of the carrot. From there, I'm going to release my legs, shake out my low back, round over my box. Take a couple of deep breaths. Place my straps back on the box, hands on the corner of the box. One leg, the other leg. Come on. I'm going to place my sticky mat to the side. We're going to go into short box. So I'm going to adjust my box for that. I'm going to place 4 to 5 springs on. I'm going to Make sure that my safety strap is properly engaged. Come to sitting on the box, making sure that I have a hand's distance behind my tailbone to the back of the box to accommodate for my sacrum. Go ahead and place my feet under the strap, giving myself a lift, squeezing my glutes. Sitting straight up, making a fist with my hands, one on top of the other, driving it into my belly button, drawing my belly button away from my hands. Rounding over, looking at my belly button. I'm going to inhale, exhale to come back until I feel the shake. Exhale back up. Seeing in my C-shape curve. Inhale, exhale. Coming back in my C-shape curve. Feel the shake. Inhale. Exhale back up. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale, staying in your C-shape curve. Exhale back up to sitting. Inhale. Exhale, dropping your belly button to your spine. Inhale. Coming back up. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale up. Final one. Let's make it our best. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. From there, we're going to sit straight up. Bring your arms slightly in front of our ears. Ribs up. Our abdominals up and in. I'm going to inhale back. As if we're between a pinky knee press. So we start full shake. Exhale. Squeezing our glutes and our thighs and hamstrings to come straight back up. Sitting forward slightly for a nice hamstring stretch. Inhale back. Exhaling up. Inhale back. Hold the pose for flat back for just a moment to really feel the shake. One more. From there, I'm going to place one hand on the left corner. We're going to sweep our right arm up to the side, pressing up out of the left side of the box with our hand to reach towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. We're going to lift ourselves back up by straightening our elbow, squeezing our glutes on the right side to sit up, and place my right hand on the right corner, pressing into the box, bending my elbow towards my hip. I'm going to reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet with the right side of the box. I'm going to straighten my right elbow, squeeze my left obliques and sit up. And down, and the elbow, and side bend. Straighten your elbow, sit up, right hand. For a challenge on this last one, we're not going to put our arm down. Your side bend will be slightly less. We're going to reach, keeping both of our hips down, staying strong. Use your obliques to sit up. It's as if you're between 2 panes of Atlassian, just like on the flat back stretch, but you're just going side to side and up. Hands on your elbows. I'm going to rotate to the left side from the belly button up, leaving everything else stable on the box. I'm going to rotate down, articulating my spine. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to untwist through the center. I'm going to twist to the right. I'm going to roll down. Stay in a C-shaped curve. I'm going to articulate my spine back up and twist to the left. I'm using my abdominals in an organized fashion. When I roll down, I'm going lower abdominals, middle abdominals, upper abdominals. When I come up, I'm going to use my upper abdominals, my middle abdominals, and my lower abdominals. Twist to the right. Use your lower abdominals to tuck. Your middle abdominals and your upper abdominals. Now come up with your upper abdominals. Mid, and lower. One more set on each side. I'm leaving both my hips on the box. And through center. From there, I'm going to do the bent knee tree. I'm going to keep my right foot under the strap. Check in to make sure it's solid. I'm going to come sitting, double check on the space behind my booty. I'm going to bring my left knee up to tabletop, giving myself support behind my left leg. I'm going to sit straight up. I'm going to straighten my left leg and bend it. Straighten and bend. Straighten and leave it straight. Now flex your foot with articulation, rolling through the ball of your foot. And the third one, leave your foot with a gentle point. Now circle your foot from the ankle 3 times in each direction. And now switch. Go ahead and bend your knee. Tuck your tailbone. Using an organized use of your abdominals again. You're going to tuck using your lower abdominals, your mid abdominals, and your upper. Inhale here. Exhale using your upper abdominals, mid abdominals, lower abdominals. Just sit all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, lower abdominals, mid, and upper, mid, lower. One more. Sitting straight up. We're going to tuck and articulate to a C-shaped curve. Not going any lower than where you would be for hundreds. And up. From there, I'm going to grab onto the outside of my strap with my right hand. I'm going to hold on to my left leg wherever I can. I'm going to articulate back again, pulling my leg with me, getting a nice hip flexor stretch down my right leg, and getting a nice hamstring stretch. Don't let go of your strap. Down my left leg. I'm going to sit up. I'm going to reach across and grab somewhere on my leg where I can, with my right hand on the outside of my left foot. I'm going to reach back, sitting up straight. Reach for the back corner and twist back, looking over my left shoulder if I'm able to. Pull your leg across, leave both hips on. Come back to the center. Take your left leg in your left hand. Reach for the outside strap again, right here. Pull your leg to the side, leaving both hips on. Articulate back down into another C-shaped curve. Pulling your leg back. Getting a nice hamstring stretch and a nice hip flexor stretch. Here we go, and articulate back up. We're going to release our left leg. Bring our right foot to flat on the box. Take our left leg and bend it at the ankle, so our ankle is across the knee. We're going to take it actually above the ankle slightly so we don't sickle our foot. You can reach back behind you, sit up as straight as you can, lean forward at a diagonal. Instead of just rounding over your leg, you might find that this gives you a little bit of a different stretch, a little deeper. You won't have as much mobility probably. You might, but you will feel it a little bit more intensely maybe. And release. We're going to place our left foot under the strap. Bring our right knee bent into our chest, sitting straight up, elbows wide. We're going to point our foot and bend at the knee. Straighten your leg and bend. One more, leave it straight. We're going to articulate through our foot. Pull back your toes, pull back the ball of your foot to a flex foot. Come through to a demi point or forced arch, Point your toes. We're going to do it 2 more times. Articulate and articulate to point. Articulate to flex, articulate to point. From here, we're going to circle our foot 3 times in each direction from the ankle. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and reverse. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and bend at the knee, sitting straight up. Grab a little test, strap test. Exhale. Begin to tuck using an organized use of your abdominals. Come down, feeling the nice hip flexor stretch. tailbone, bring your nose towards your knee. Using your abdominals, come back up. Inhale. Exhale to tuck. Articulating down to the C-shaped curve or curl position. Back up. If you feel a lack of control or vertigo in this position, and you would like to try the exercise regardless, place a ball or a moon box in the headrest behind you, and it might give you a feeling of support and help to alleviate the discomfort. Come back up. Take your right foot in your right hand, or your right leg in your right hand. Grab for the outside strap. Take your tailbone to pull your leg back, more towards your underarm than your nose. Feeling the hip flexor stretch. Do not release your strap. Articulate your spine up. Bring your foot across to hold on to your right foot or leg with your left hand. Place your right hand on the back edge, back corner of the right box. Articulate. Look back over your shoulder towards the back wall or your uprights. Come back to center. Take your right leg in your right hand again. Grab the outside strap. Bring your foot out to the side. Articulate your spine down. Coming into a C-shaped curve again. Feeling a nice hamstring stretch. Come up. Release your right foot. Take your left foot out of the strap. Place your foot flat on the carriage. Taking your right leg, bend at the knee. Bringing that ankle or above the ankle across the left knee so that you're not siggling your foot. And bring your arms wide around to the outside. Fingertips touching the outside back of the box. Ribs down, abdominals up and in. And lean forward at a flat back angle across your bent leg. A few more breaths. Go ahead and bring your foot down. Set carefully off of your box. Remove your box. Place it to the side. From there, we're going to bring our strap down. Make any adjustments or repairs that we need to. Bring our foot bar back up. We're going into long stretch and down stretch. 2 springs on. Bringing our headrest back up. I'm going to place one hand on the foot bar, the other hand on the foot bar. I'm going to bring my foot that's closest to the carriage up first, placing my foot in the headrest. I'm going to press out, and I'm going to lift my other foot up and around to bring it across. Spread out slightly with my pinky blade edge, lifting up in my abdominals, squeezing my legs together. I'm going to press out in a plank position. And pull back across so my shoulders are over my elbows. And press out. My shoulder blades are flat down my back. I'm in a neutral spine, just facing the floor now. In a plank position. And inhale back. Exhale across. 3 more. Inhale. My feet are in a Pilates feet position in the headrest. Go ahead and bring the carriage in as you drop your knees to the carriage. Separate your feet so your toes are tucked under, your heels are pressed against the shoulder blocks. We're going to squeeze our glutes to bring our hips forward into a swan-like position, pushing down on the foot bar as if we're coming down and up through a round fishbowl. We're going to press back, coming quickly across our knees, and come back up, allowing our head and our neck to follow the curve of our spine. Abdominals are drawn up and in. A little bit more pressure on our pinky blade edge, drawing our shoulders away from our back. Slight micro bend in our elbows, so we're not hyperextending. 2 more. over the foot bar, reaching down for a modified child's pose. From here, we're going to go ahead and go into scooter, do a psoas stretch. We're going to be moving in to jump board. So carefully coming off to the side. I'm going to line my big toe up with the front wood right here. Oh, I'm sorry. No, wrong. Do not listen up. That's for the psoas stretch. Go ahead and tuck your toes for your leg closest to the reformer. I'm starting with my right knee on the reformer. I'm bending my knees. I'm going to take a look at my knees. My knees are not lined up, so I'm going to adjust my knees so that my knees are lined up and they're both bent. I'm going to come in a flat back position. I'm going to bend this elbow slightly so I'm not rounding in. And I'm going to kick out, straighten my leg, and bend it with control. I'm not jerking the movement. Here's 5. We're still in a neutral spine position. We're going to maintain it even though our body's moving. We're going to be maintaining the neutral spine position and the jump board as well. So we want to make sure we can find it here too. From here, we're going to rotate our foot, turning it out, bringing our foot to the top of the shoulder block. Maintaining the same body position, we're going to press out and pull back in with control. Inhale and exhale. Don't tuck or tilt your tailbone in this. No undue pressure on our back. 4 more. Shoulders away from your ears. 1 more. Release your foot first. Now release your hands from the foot bar. We're going to come around to the other side. I'm going to place my left foot on the carriage, heel up against the shoulder block, toes tapped. Bend my knees. I'm going to line them up. So they're lined up together right now. I'll lean forward slightly. Draw my belly up and in. And press out. And exhale. 2. And 3. Bending both my knees the entire time. Try not to press into the foot bar like this. Try to hold on with the meat of the heel of your hand so that you leave your thumb on the same side as your fingers so you're not putting any undue pressure on your wrists. Rotate your foot so it's at the top of the shoulder block, turning your femur around the hip socket and press. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember to stand up. I'm going to take off my springs and leave 1 light spring on. For those of you that have colored springs, I have a blue spring on, not a yellow. I'm going to come around to the other side of the reformer. Here I'm going to line my big toe up with the front edge of the carriage, placing my other foot back against the shoulder block, toes tapped, sitting down into the stretch. I'm going to sit up as straight as I can without flaring out. And then I'm going to lower myself into the stretch, sitting as straight as I possibly can. I'm going to lift back up again. And 2. Really sink into it. And lift. 1 more. And lift from there. I'm going to come off to the side of my reformer. Come around to the other side. Line my toe up with the front edge wood. Hands on the foot bar. Tuck my toes. Place my foot against the shoulder block, my heel against the shoulder block. Drop my heel. Sink down into the stretch. And then move the carriage to go deeper. Inhaling down. And exhaling, pull back up. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. going to place my jump board in, depending on your reformer. You may have different jump board protocols. You may have different safety issues. Please go ahead and make sure that you're following your own safety protocols and issues, or safety protocols and rules for your jump board at your home. Make sure that it is certainly tight enough in your carriage as not to cause issues. If you suffer from osteoporosis and osteopenia, please consider not doing the jump board, as it could lead too much pressure on your backs. When you come down, I'm going to keep the same springs on that I had on for scooter. I'm going to come onto my side. I'm going to come onto my back. Foot positions for jumping are going to be parallel, where our heels are going to start under our sits bones. Press out, press up into a forced arch, lower your heels, and bend your knees. Let's do that one more time. Press out, and up, and lower, and in. So in Pilates V, heels together, toes apart, finger rotating the hip socket, press out, bring your legs together, come up, and down, and in. One more, and out, and up, and down, and in. We'll also do parallel Y, and in Pilates V. So, beginning, we're going to begin hip distance apart. We're going to press out, and in, 2. Trying to make sure that your feet are landing in the same position every time on the jump board. Try not to bring your feet down here. You can cause your sacrum to rock. Your feet up a little higher is usually a good position. And if you find you're having no problem with your sacrum stability, you can play a little bit with your foot placement from there. 5 more. 5, 4. We're maintaining a neutral spine here. 2, 1. Without moving your feet, go to Pilates V. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep it going. This is not a full jump board class. It's just a fun little jump board routine to end a nice class. Squeeze your legs together. And 20. Feet wide and parallel. Check on your neutral spine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to 20. 12, 13, 14, 15. If you need a break, go ahead and take it. Jump back in whenever you're able to. Bring your legs together. 20. Pilates V wide. 2. Squeezing your turnout as you jump. Drawing your abdominals up and in. Bring your wrists together. Shoulders wide. Collarbone wide. Shoulders wide and flat. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to go parallel together. Parallel apart. And together. And apart. 3. Roll through your foot. Articulate. So you don't jam into your jump board. A light jump. 8. And in. 9. After 10, we're going to Pilates V. And together. And apart Pilates V. Here's 2. You might find as you're tired, you start to slam into your carriage a little bit more. See if you can control that. Don't see into the carriage. Rotate your femur bone in your hip second. Here's 8. 9. And 10. And come in. Good job. And we're going to come up to the side. We're going to end class with a little bit of mermaid. I'm going to get back into the picture. I'm going to come up. I am going to go into classic mermaid pose. If it feels better, please come into a figure 4 where your bottom leg is parallel with the side of the reformer. Or if you have knee issues, that doesn't feel good either, please come into a crisscross applesauce, but switch the cross of your legs on the other side. So if this leg is in front of this side, this leg will be in front on the other side. So I'm not grabbing onto the top of my reformer. I'm placing my hand right here, not grabbing onto anything and squeezing it. My hands are reaching across here. I'm going to straighten my elbow to reach across to the side. Reaching across my foot bar. I'm going to bend my elbow down, squeeze my legs to come up, and reach over into the wall towards the uprights. Come back up to sitting. Place my hand on the foot bar, straighten my elbow, reaching across the jump board. Bend my elbow first, and then come up to sitting and over the well. One more. Enjoy this light stretch. Try not to flare your ribs. And come back up. Come off the reformer safely and go to the other side. Again, you can go do the classic legs like I did, and the figure 4 legs where your bottom leg is, where your bottom shin is parallel with the side of the reformer, or crisscross applesauce. But again, if you're going to do crisscross applesauce, please switch your legs so that the other leg is in the front on this side. Placing my hand down, not grabbing onto the top for dear life. My hand is still in my peripheral. I'm going to straighten my elbow, bringing my other hand across the jump board. I'm going to come up by bending my elbow, sitting up, grabbing onto my peg or my shoulder block, pulling myself over into the well. Bending over. Without flaring my ribs or loosen my abdominals. Sitting. Bend over. One more. Not letting my shoulder go towards my ear. Go ahead and come off of your reformer carefully. And thank you so much for a great class. I hope that you have a wonderful day.